Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot to be excited about with OU men's basketball coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. The Oklahoma Sooners football program hired Jim Nagy to be their GM. Well, Oklahoma basketball had a big time addition as well, hiring Trae Young to be an assistant GM for the Oklahoma men's basketball program.
Yeah, he's following the similar footsteps of one Steph Curry, who is also the assistant GM over at Davidson. And so it's kind of an interesting component to hear that Trae Young will be doing something similar to what Steph Curry is doing. So Trae's going to use his power and, his brand awareness of him and Trae Young and his basketball league, the Legends League that him and Blake Griffin have. Trae Young donated $1 million. And so his responsibilities are going to be focused on helping with roster management, evaluating talent. Like I said, they have the legend, so they're watching players at a young age and going all the way up into high school. So they've got an eye on a lot of players with that league play. And then he'll be there to kind of help with building fundraisers, John. He'll be able to help get, some of these elite athletes, like Blake Griffin, himself, all their foundations who, have made hundreds of millions of dollars. It'd be nice of them to drop a little, $1 million or $2 million here in the bucket, from their profits and add that to the team. So I'm not sure who the GM is for the basketball program. I don't think they have one yet, but I'm hearing that one is coming down the line very soon. But Trae Young coming in as a assistant GM, similar to Steph Curry, just adds a level of influence that's going to be awesome.
I love that he made the announcement on SportsCenter and ESPN, and then also was dropping like, hey, I'm also donating $1 million. So anybody in the transfer portal, high school recruits, take notice because we're making moves over at Oklahoma. Like that was a great way to announce that, not just a simple press release from the university, not a social media post. It's like, no, we're on SportsCenter and we're doing this thing. Like we're getting after it. You want to come be a part of Oklahoma basketball. You want to be a part of something that helped make me who I am. Let's talk. You want to talk finances? We can talk finances. It's all good. Like, let's go. I'm good to go. And this is going to be huge because Trae Young is going to open doors for Oklahoma basketball that might not have been open otherwise. Because Trae Young is a marketable and recognizable name across the country and really across the globe. So this is a huge deal.
It's massive on that. And you can't really sleep. You can't really even emphasize just how big of a deal it is because like with Steph going to Davidson and helping them, he has Under Armour deal and, he's a global name. Trae is growing more and more in the NBA every day as one of the top guards out there. And he's still getting to his peak, right? We've still got time with Trae in the league. And so, but this is a great way for him to give back and for him to leverage his global brand to bring, like I said, more attention to the program. Plus, he's a Jordan Brand guy too, right? Him, Blake Griffin, they're both on Jordan Brand. If I'm correct, he had something to do with Aaliyah Chavez, getting a little deal with Jordan because it seems like Jordan has a very big time tie to the state of Oklahoma. We talked about that when she committed. But yeah, you add an additional component there with Trae. I mean, the fundraising efforts are going to be dope. And if he can find the next generational or transcendent talent and convince him to come to Oklahoma, he's going to be able to get them a Jordan Brand, a deal. Because I don't think there's only like two in collegiate sports right now. Leah Chavez is one of them. You can get another one. Oh man, that puts you head and shoulders ahead. Even though like schools like Michigan also rock Jordan and a few others, North Carolina,
Florida.
You're right. They ain't getting it like Oklahoma is. They ain't gotten the plug like Oklahoma, it seems like. So you may want to lean in on that. But like you said, when it comes to like the recruiting aspect right now in the portal, all these dudes, hopefully they're paying attention to it and seeing. Because, Trae's probably finding a way to get a text message out saying, hey, we watched your game. We think you can fit what we're trying to do. We're trying to win here. Pull up. And hopefully we can get some of these veteran presence down there to be able to go out there and go a little bit deeper in the tournament. We need some wins in the first couple of rounds, and it'll be nice for us to have a run similar to what Florida's doing right now.
Well, I think what's cool about this is like Porter Moser, after the UConn loss, he says, we got to be able to win in April and May. Well, this is a great start to being able to win in April and May. And, it's not going to be about retaining the talent that they had on this team, because Jeremiah Fears is likely off to the NBA. We know Jalen Moore is going to be off to the NBA. They're losing a bunch of seniors. It's about rebuilding this roster now, but also finding those key talents that are going to be able to make that jump. Do similar to what we're hoping John Mateer is going to be able to do. Go from playing group of five or mid-major basketball to joining the SEC and being impactful immediately. And that's what the goal is over the next couple of months, is retooling the roster in such a way that they're able to hit the ground running come the fall. But this sets the tone for Oklahoma basketball, not just now, but for the future as well, that you can get Blake Griffin even more involved than he already is. You can get Buddy Hield back on campus and get him involved. You can get Austin Reeves, who, my man, he's playing himself into a max contract discussion at some point, because the dude is just rocking it right now for the Lakers. All of this right now is coming to a head for Oklahoma in such a strong way and putting them in a really strong position to be impactful down the road. Jeremiah Fears, if he can go be a lottery pick and then show out in the NBA, what does that say for Porter Moser and his ability as a coach, as a recruiter, as an evaluator? I think that's huge. So, yes, the season didn't end the way that you would like. You would obviously like to make a deeper run into the tournament, but they made a stride, right? You made a positive move in the right direction for the program, but then you're going to get a big boost with the addition of Trae Young to the program, who's going to be involved in helping Porter Moser build this thing. And I think that's really encouraging. And I know a lot of people want Porter Moser out, but I think if anything, take the end of the season and what they did to close out the regular season, to go into the SEC tournament, to even the way that they played against UConn, even in a loss, take that as an encouraging sign as at the direction of the program. And then if Trae Young is in on Porter Moser, then we should be in on Porter Moser.
Yeah, I'm all in to forgive Porter Moser at this moment. I'm still, John, I'm still in the mindset. But you know what? I forgive him.
Oh, man, we're all positive vibes today, dude. It's Trae Young
positive
day.
Vibes. Trae Young day. Trae Young done did something to make me happy. Now, I just need them to execute on it. Can y'all execute on it, please? That's all I ask.
Yep. Yeah, and if they hit on this recruiting class that's incoming led by Kai Rogers, the big 6'10" forward out of Wisconsin, I think that's going to give them a chance to still be relevant and competitive in 2025, 2026. Now you got to make sure you hit on your portal additions. That's going to be key.
Exactly.
Cannot miss on your portal additions this
spring. Then you put around Rogers and Dalton. You got to have good pieces, and that's critical. And I think he will. Porter seems to find a way to find some good players. We just need dudes, like you said, win in March and in April.
Yep. Got to win now, and you got to make sure that all the pieces are going to fit in the fall. What other portal targets does the Oklahoma football team need to look into when the portal opens in a couple of weeks? That was very Dr. Seussian of me. I'm going to have to write the Dr. Seuss version of the transfer portal. Coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.